Welcome back to 52 Weeks of Gaming. We're on week 32. I'm going to pass it over to Nick so he can tell you what game he's playing this week. So, Nick? So this is Ashes Cricket, which is a weird thing for me to go and say because I don't know why I'm playing a cricket game. Don't know why there is a cricket game would be the better thing to point out, and since I don't know why there is one, means I'm gonna play it because I want to know what it's all about. So we're gonna find out. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Yep. So Ashes Cricket is a game that came out in 2017 by a studio named Big Ant Studios, who's an Australian developer, and they are also the publisher on this one. And the game came out for a number of different systems: PlayStation, Xbox, Windows. This is pretty much the usual ones that most games come out for. And it was a sequel, if you will, to the Don Bradman cricket titles that Big Ant had made in the past. But the big thing here is that it was actually fully licensed for the 2017-2018 Ashes series between Australia and England. So in the game itself, you could do the Ashes series as either Australia, England, or a player on either of the teams. And like most sports games, there has the career mode. You have the kind of play now mode, the online mode, the customization of different fields you can go and make, different players you can go and make. So it is fairly in-depth like most sports games go, and it got pretty good reviews for it, for I want to say overall, for people who don't fully know cricket around the world. Even though it is the second most popular sport in the world, it did get fantastic reviews, and it did lead to future games like Cricket 19. So Big Ant Studios definitely did something really good there. And I'm going to hand it off to Nick so he can go and talk specifically about Ashes Cricket and what his thoughts on it were. So this week was Ashes Cricket, which I will say, besides being a sports game and not something I typically play, was a sport that I know very little about. I mean, I know kind of a general idea of cricket, but that's about it. I don't know too much about it, and so it comes to this point where I'm going and playing a game for a sport that I really know nothing about and hoping to learn a bit about during the game itself. And so I'm playing the game, and I do think I have a bit of a better understanding of cricket and how the game is played. And in that sense, it was an enjoyable game. I got to learn about a new sport. It is pretty interesting. I don't know if I really enjoy the whole taking time over 5 days, possibly for an Ashes series, or 3 days, depending on the test game, or if it's 50 overs or 20 overs. And those are all terms in the wonderful cricket world. So if that's something that I really want to go and do, is to go and actually watch a cricket game. I mean, part of me wants to watch a cricket game because I feel like it's much more interesting than what I played, because of my skill level. Because so you have the batter and the bowler. The bowler, if you want to consider it to something like baseball, is like the pitcher. So they're the ones that are throwing the ball, and the job is to go and hit the wicket on the other side and kind of get the person out. I was not good at that for my character. That to go and try to go and get a wicket, which is again an out. So I wasn't really the best on that one. Batting wasn't that bad. There were different styles of that and different pitching styles, and it was very in-depth. And having played a baseball game before, I feel like the types of pitches that you could do and adjusting the way that you do the pitches was a lot more in-depth than like baseball games, because for in cricket you bounce the ball usually, but before it goes and gets to the other end, and so you can choose how close to you throw it, how far away, the strength behind it, if it's an inside or outside. And there were a bunch of comparisons I thought of to like when I played baseball games, but it definitely felt very in-depth on how to go and play it, and even the different batting styles and angles and positions. It's a fantastic game for cricket. And I think that anyone that likes cricket is someone that's going to go and really want to go and play the Ashes Cricket games, because it's a really good representation, in my opinion, of what I know of cricket, and I learned a lot from it. So I think it is fairly accurate in that regard. And so there's a ton of things to do in it, and I mean, I did the career as I always do in sports games. So I did the career kind of did a season, if you will, and it had the 3 different styles of like a 3-day test versus 50 overs versus 20 overs. And so I don't know still the most about what determines how many overs are really done in an inning between the 2 innings. There's still bits that I'm trying to go and figure out, but as a gameplay perspective, as an overall whole, it's a fantastic game. It was a lot of fun, and I think people would go and enjoy it. It's just as it's a sports game, it's not really the thing for me. So, as always, who do you think would want to go and play a game like this? So, as I said, I think that anyone who plays cricket or knows about cricket or like sports games would really go and enjoy Ashes Cricket, because it's something that really encompasses everything that cricket's about and kind of really does a good job of explaining the specifics through the tutorials even, and just playing a game to kind of figure out the rules of cricket and figuring it out. So I think sports fans and cricket fans who would technically be sports fans, but those are the people that I would say should go and play this game. I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but do you think you're going to keep playing this game in the future? Well, as with sports games, I don't think I'm really going to be playing it that much later, because it being a sports game, I kind of lose my interest after doing the career mode for a little bit, because I'm like, hey, it's just repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. And like with other games, I hate grinding, which is essentially what career mode is, because you're grinding for your skills to be able to get better. And so it's not really for me. But again, that doesn't mean that it's a bad game at all. It's a fantastic game, and I really did enjoy playing it. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah.